Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Sebastian Faulks, and welcome to you all to the Rugby Portobello Christmas quiz. It's great that you can all join and that we're all going to have a lot of fun tonight. It's been a wonderful year, obviously. We've all loved every minute of it. One of the things we've learned how to do is Zoom and all that sort of thing. And tonight, we're going to have 4 rounds of great questions, and they're a mixture of questions. Some of them are quite easy, some of them are quite difficult. There are ones for old people, ones for young people, ones for people in the middle, some brain teasers, some funny ones, and so on. First of all, let's remember what we're trying to do this evening, as well as to have fun and prepare for a great year ahead. We're trying to raise some money for the Rugby Portobello Trust, which is a really terrific charity which I've been supporting off and on for a long time. At any time tonight, or indeed tomorrow, please make a donation to www.justgiving.com/campaign RPT Christmas quiz. Don't worry if you haven't got that absolutely stored in your memory bank. You'll be reminded of it all right as we go along, and failing all that, just email Rugby Portobello afterwards and they'll let you know how to get rid of your money in a really, really helpful way. The Rugby Portobello Trust has been working with some of the most vulnerable and at-risk children in our area in North Kensington for 136 years. That's even longer than I've been helping out occasionally. RPT runs programs all day throughout the week and at weekends and through school holidays to make sure that the families and children who really need support are getting it. RPT runs free programs to help children build skills and confidence and support them to overcome disadvantage and reach their potential, laying the foundations for young people to develop into confident, engaged members of their communities. And this is done in lots of different ways with sports, games, lessons, and support in learning how to live as they get a bit older. So I'm not going to read out the URL at the bottom. You know how to give through Just Giving. So now it's time for the fun. And I really hope you enjoy this. We've really worked on this to try and get the questions to be, pretty lively and varied. You need to enter your answers as I take you through the round, and you need to have a second device or a phone open. And to put your answers in, you need to go to tinyurl.com/RPT play along. It's up on the screen now. I'll just repeat it for you, tinyurl.com/RPT play along. And at the end of the quiz, your final score will get sent to us and we can announce the winner by email to you all this evening. Okay, so here's just a brief overview of what's going to happen. It's a family-friendly quiz, as I've said. There are 4 rounds, and the rounds vary in length. Some have 5, some have 20 questions, and some in between. And I will give you the answers, or someone will give you the answers after each round. And don't worry, it's not just my dreary voice you'll be hearing. We've got a bit of spice and variation going through. There will be a 5-minute break at the end of the first round and at the end of the third round. If you're playing online, as I hope you are through the URL I just gave you, make sure you're able to watch this video at the same time by using a separate device. I'm just repeating what I said there. If you're not playing online, you can still enjoy it, still join in, and you share your score in the live chat, which is available. We all know where live chat is on Zoom these days, don't we? But if you only can win this evening and be the champion RPT quizzer if you submit your answers via tinyurl.com/RPT play along. Now, the next rule, a little bit controversial, but where there is any debate on an answer, the quizmaster is always right. I didn't write that rule, but I'm happy to read it out, obviously. Now, the chat function on Zoom will be turned off during the quiz, so no one inadvertently reveals their answers. It'll be turned on again during the breaks at the end of round 1 and 3, so you can share scores if you want to, and just chatter about what a good time you're having. Don't use Google OBS. It's just a completely waste of time. But above all, rule 7, have fun. Let's get going. Round 1. Question 1. What is your team name? I told you there'd be some easy ones. Now, this is a bonus question, and the best team name will be chosen at the end of the quiz by my masters at RPT, and the team will receive an extra point. We encourage you to pick one, even if you're playing solo. Call yourself something, and let us know in the chat. Question 2. In which city would you find St. Basil's Cathedral? In which city would you find St. Basil's Cathedral? Question 3. What did Kylie Jenner name her baby? A, Rainy, B, Stormy, C, Windy, or D, Sunny? I read that as Sunny first, but I think it must be Sunny. What did Kylie Jenner name her baby? A, Rainy, B, Stormy, C, Windy, or D, Sunny? Question 4. By the way, don't worry if you feel rushed. I'll read all the questions again at the end, so you'll have another go. Question 4. The title of which Italian opera translates as The Fallen Woman? The title of which Italian opera translates as The Fallen Woman? Knowing as little Italian as I do, I'm thinking it might start with, actually, I won't give any clues. It's unfair. Go on. Let's go to question 5. Who wrote the opera? Who wrote the aforementioned opera, which is translated in English as The Fallen Woman? So you're likely to get 2 if you know and none if you don't, but that's life. A little bit unfair, really. Otherwise, just stick in a famous Italian opera composer. There aren't that many, really. Or maybe that's just revealing how seldom I go. All right, question 6. What comes between fear and sex? Yes, you heard that right. What comes between fear and sex? I told you there'd be some surprises, didn't I? It's not all going to be capitals. One more time, what comes between fear and sex? Question 7. I hope you can all see 4 weird-looking flags on your screen. Please tell us which of these is the Albanian flag. Which is the Albanian flag? The one that looks like a knockoff vodka, A, B, the blue and white one, C, the indescribable one, or D, the rather pretty stripes. Which of these is the Albanian flag? Question 8. Pig's nose, sugar bush, and Grand Sultan are all types of what? Pig's nose, sugar bush, and Grand Sultan are all types of what? I must confess I did not know this when this question was suggested, but I expect you will. Question 9 now. Question 9. Andrei Fedorovich Fyodorov is better known to us as. By what name is Andrei Fedorovich Fyodorov better known to us? And I will give you a clue here. He was born in British India. He was educated at Westminster School in London and at Trinity College, Cambridge. Quite a heavy clue there, I think. Question 10. What is this popular gesture called? Is it A, I hope you can see the picture, are they A, flossing, B, dabbing, C, twerking, or D, wobbling? What is this popular gesture called? Popular is an interesting choice of words. Not very popular in my house, I must say. But anyway, is it A, flossing, B, dabbing, C, twerking, or D, wobbling? Question 11. Simple, really, if you're musical. How many keys does a standard grand piano have? How many keys does a standard grand piano have? Is it A, 88, B, 92, C, 66, D, 77, E, 61? How many keys does a standard grand piano have? A, 88, B, 92, C, 66, D, 77, or E, for the chopsticks expert, 61? It's one of those ones you know or you don't, really, isn't it? Okay, question 12. Which parts of the animal, when cooked, is called sweetbreads? It may be a part or parts. The answer, there are two answers actually, so you get 2 points if you get them both. Which part or parts of the animal, when cooked, is or are called sweetbreads? Very few people eat them nowadays, but they used to be considered very fancy, though cheap. Sweetbreads, what are they? Question 13. What is the profession of Peppa Pig's dad? What is the profession of Peppa Pig's dad? Is he A, a police officer, B, a structural engineer, C, an acupuncturist, or D, a nurse? Another one I was flummoxed by. Not sure I wanted an acupuncturist using trotters on me, but anyway, who knows? Could well be the answer. Is Peppa Pig's dad A, a police officer, B, a structural engineer, C, an acupuncturist, or D, a nurse? Okay, we're getting in sight of the end of round one now. Question 14. How many hearts does an octopus have? How many hearts does an octopus have? And a clue, it's between 1 and 6. Secondary clue is fewer than it has tentacles. How many hearts does an octopus have between 1 and 6? Educated guess, I think. Question 15. Which of these cities is furthest from London? A, Shanghai, B, Bogota, C, Los Angeles. Which of these cities is furthest from London? A, Shanghai, B, Bogota, or C, Los Angeles? Not too difficult, I don't think, that one. Just think of a map if you can remember a map before it was all on the phone. Question 16. Which is the more correct English? A, between you and me, or B, between you and I? Which is the more correct English? A, between you and me, or B, between you and I? Should be easy, shouldn't it? You're allowed to get this wrong if you're not a native English speaker. Otherwise, you may have to be shot. All right, enough pedantry. Question 17. Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, was brought up in which religion? In which religion was Jacinda Ardern, the much admired Prime Minister of New Zealand, brought up? I can almost hear the heads being scratched all around W11. It's a good question, this, I think. Okay, question 18. Which is the most westerly country in Africa? Another geography one here. This is tricky, I think. This is tricky. There's quite a lot that you'll think of. Which is the most westerly country in Africa? I got this wrong, I got to say. Have a go, as Robert Robinson used to say. Have a go, Mr. Smith. Okay, number 19. Nearly there now. This is a question after my own heart. Gigondas, Rasteau, and Vaquera are all wine-producing villages in which French appellation? Gigondas, Rasteau, and Vaquera are all wine-producing villages in which French appellation? It's a lovely part of the world, made even lovelier by the excellence of its wine. And finally, in round one, question 20. Question 20, in Dad's Army, what is the Christian name of Captain Mannering's wife? We never actually see her on the screen, but Arthur Lowe refers to her quite often in slightly awed terms. In Dad's Army, what is the Christian name of Captain Mannering's wife? It's a real quiz question, this, isn't it? You'll kick yourself when you hear it if you can't grab it out of your memory. Okay, that is the end of round one, and I'm going to whisk through those questions again very fast. Question one, what is your team's name? 2, in which city would you find St. Basil's Cathedral? 3, what did Kylie Jenner name her baby? Rainy, stormy, windy, or sunny? The title of which Italian opera translates as The Fallen Woman? 5, who wrote the aforementioned opera? 6, what comes between fear and sex? 7, which of these is the Albanian flag? Hoping you can see them there. 8, pig's nose, sugar bush, and Grand Sultan are all types of what? 9, Andrei Fedorovich Fyodorov is better known to us as. 10, what is this popular gesture called? Flossing, dabbing, twerking, or wobbling? 11, how many keys does a grand piano typically have? A, 88, B, 92, C, 66, D, 77, E, 61. 12, what part of the animal when cooked is called sweetbreads? 2 points for this. 13, what is the profession of Peppa Pig's dad? A, police officer, B, structural engineer, C, acupuncturist, D, nurse. 14, how many hearts does an octopus have? 15, which of these cities is furthest from London? A, Shanghai, B, Bogota, C, Los Angeles. 16, which is the more correct English? A, between you and me, or B, between you and I? 17, Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, was brought up in which religion? 18, which is the most western country in Africa? 19, Gigondas, Rasteau, and Vaquera are all wine-producing villages in which French appellation? And 20, in Dad's Army, what is the Christian name of Captain Mannering's wife? Clue, we never actually see her. Okay, I'm now going to give you the answers to those. I'm going to read them out and then we're going to have a break. The answers are question 1, whatever name you gave your team, and the winner of the best name is going to be announced at the end. In which city would you find St. Basil's Cathedral? Well, it would obviously be Moscow. 3, what did Kylie Jenner name her baby? It was Stormy. 4, the Italian title of which Italian opera translates as The Fallen Woman? La Traviata. La Traviata is The Fallen Woman. And who wrote it? It was Giuseppe Verdi, also known as Joe Green in English. Verdi was the answer. 6, what comes between fear and sex? The answer is Fünf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That question doesn't work so well being written down, but maybe some of you didn't see it written down. But so if you hear it, it's very puzzling indeed. If anyone put half a bottle of scotch in a Viagra, go to the back of the class. 7, which of these is the Albanian flag? Well, I'm afraid it's A, the knockoff vodka. I didn't know that, actually. Apologies to any Albanians who are taking part in this quiz. 8, pig's nose, sugar bush, and Grand Sultan are all types of apple. Andrei Fedorovich Fyodorov is better known to us as, I'm sure you probably all worked out, Kim Philby. 10, what is this popular gesture called? It's called flossing. More usually part of a sort of dance, I think, but anyway, there it was, frozen in time, flossing. 11, how many keys does a grand piano typically have? The answer is A, 88. What part of the animal when cooked is called sweetbreads? The pancreas or the thymus. Pancreas and or thymus. It's nothing to do with anything reproductive, by the way. 13, what is the profession of Peppa Pig's dad? Well, you could have knocked me down with a feather. He's a structural engineer. Well, there you go. Structural engineer is the answer to 13. 14, how many hearts does an octopus have? The answer is 3. How many hearts does an octopus have? The answer, 3. Which of these cities is furthest from London? Shanghai. Obviously, Los Angeles is further west than Bogota. You can see that in your mind's eye, can't you? But Eastern China is further than Western America. 16, which is the more correct English? The answer is between you and me, obviously. If you're English and you put between you and I, we cannot be friends. You may be relieved about that. 17, Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, was brought up as a Mormon. A Mormon. Jacinda was a Mormon, which is amazing, fantastic, really, or she would say fantastic. She changed and got rid of the Mormonism. 18, which is the most Western country in Africa? The answer is Senegal. Senegal. 19, Gigondas, Rasto, and Vaquera are all wine-producing villages in the Côte du Rhône appellation. And number 20, in Dad's Army, the Christian name of Captain Mannering's wife is Elizabeth. If you think about it, you can hear Arthur Lowe saying that word with a slight tremble in his voice. That is the end of round 1. Here's a little look at what you can do with your money if you feel you're able to give a little bit to RPT tonight. Have a look at £100 here. It can help you buy equipment for a football academy supporting more than 110 local children as they engage in organised sport for the first time. Imagine. I'm not going to read them all out. You can read them for yourselves, but just think of £100. It's only dinner for 2 with 1 bottle of wine. You can't have dinner for 2 with 1 bottle of wine, can you? But that money could be put to very good use. We're going to have a break now for 5 minutes while you go and fill your glass, and we will see you again in 5 minutes' time, please. Hello, welcome back. Hope you had a nice break. First thing I have to say is I'm very sorry, but I gave a wrong answer. That strange gesture was not flossing, as my son was very quick to come in and tell me. It was not flossing, it was dabbing. Not flossing, but dabbing. Not waving, but drowning. We are ready now, I think, and hope, for round two. If you're all sitting comfortably, it's time for me to hand you over to someone much more glamorous than me, who has 5 festive questions for you. And that is Dolly Alderton. Dolly, are you there? Bye-bye, Dolly. It's not as good as saying hello, Dolly, but it's pretty good. Thank you for your lovely cheesy questions. That's not a reference to Rod Stewart's album, by the way. I love the Hemingway question particularly. That was terrific. Thanks, Dolly. You're back with me now, I'm afraid. Round 3, a slightly shorter round. Don't despair, your dinner's not going to be that long. This is a shorter round, and then we have another guest, a rather starry guest coming up. So let's kick on with round 3. Question 1. Which Asian capital shares its name with a fictional detective? Which Asian capital shares its name with a fictional detective? Inspector Beijing? Okay, question 2. What kind of animal is a Bombay duck? Quite easy, I think, this one. What kind of animal is a Bombay duck? Fiendish little beast. Question 3. Who had a best-selling novel? Oh, a literary question. Who had a best-selling novel in 2019 with Ordinary People? I think a lot of you will get this. Who had a best-selling novel in 2019 with Ordinary People? Question 4. Which singer was in trouble for having a big birthday party just up the road from the Rugby Portobello in the last lockdown? In the last lockdown in November, a singer had a big birthday party just up the road from the Rugby Portobello. What was the name of that singer? You may have heard it, of course. Question 5. In popular culture, what is DM an acronym of? A, dreadful meme, B, delicious morsel, C, direct message, D, decent movie. In popular culture, what is DM an acronym for? A, dreadful meme, B, delicious morsel, C, direct message, D, decent movie. I don't think that's really a youth question. I think that's quite a middle-aged one, really. Goodness me, even I knew that. All right, question 6. By what surname were the authors Ellis, Currer, and Acton Bell better known? So Ellis, Currer, and Acton Bell were the pseudonyms or nom de plume of 3 writers who were better known by another surname. Have a look at those initials if you don't know it. Question 7. Who was the lead singer of Spinal Tap? This is a slightly niche generation question, I think. Who was the lead singer of Spinal Tap? And to give you a hint, that they were a fictional rock band, not a real one. A very good one. Who can forget their recreation of Stonehenge on stage, or their terribly powerful amplifier, which went all the way up to 11, if I remember rightly. Question 8. Who played the main character in the recent Netflix chess hit, The Queen's Gambit? The recent Netflix chess hit, try saying that, The Queen's Gambit. Which actor played the main character in it? Question 9. What English word means both to fake or to make strong and true? One word in English means to make strong and true or to fake. What is that word? Not a lot of doubling up in English, not like French, where la mère has to be the sea and the mother. I mean, really. Question 10. Which of these is the largest Caribbean island? A, Trinidad, B, Cuba, C, Jamaica. Again, picture that map in your head, the old schoolroom map. The largest Caribbean island, is it Trinidad, Cuba, or Jamaica? I think that's all there are in this round, or are there more questions to come? Oh, there's more to come, goody. I think there may be 15 in this round after all. Question 11. In Shakespeare's Henry V, the Welsh soldier Llewellyn compels the Englishman Pistol to eat what vegetable? In Henry V, the Welsh soldier Llewellyn compels the English soldier Pistol to eat a vegetable. What vegetable does the Welshman make him eat? Question 12. A science question at long last, you may be thinking. Whose cat was neither conclusively dead nor alive? Whose cat? This is science, not veterinary, this other science. Physics it is. Whose cat was neither conclusively dead nor alive? You know it or you don't really. 13. Question 13. Which of these is not a job title? A, vlogger, B, influencer, C, Twitterer, D, blogger. Which of the following is not a job title? A, a vlogger, B, an influencer, C, a Twitterer, or D, a blogger? Again, it's not too hard really, is it? Question 14. In what, I have to say this word without any accent or I'll give the game away. In what language does arigato mean thank you? I'm deliberately saying this in an English way, just in case you think I'm a Brexiter. It's on purpose, okay? In what language does arigato mean thank you? And 15, I'm confident this is the last question in this round. Which British public figure recently called for tougher measures against counter-terrorists? Yeah, I can hear those heads being scratched again. It doesn't make much sense, does it? But believe me, the question is correct. Which British public figure recently called for tougher measures against counter-terrorists? Okay, I'm now going to read you those questions rapidly again, and then we'll go to the answers, and then we'll go to our final glorious round. Round 3. Question 1, which Asian capital shares its name with a fictional detective? 2, what kind of animal is a Bombay duck? 3, who had a best-selling novel in 2019 with Ordinary People? 4, which singer was in trouble for having a big birthday party just up the road from the Rugby Portobello in the last lockdown? 5, in popular culture, what is a DM? Is it a dreadful meme, a delicious morsel, a direct message, or a decent movie? 6, by what surname were authors Ellis, Currer, and Acton Bell better known? 7, who was the lead singer of Spinal Tap? 8, who played the main character in the Netflix chess hit The Queen's Gambit. 9, what English word means both to fake or to make strong and true. 10, which is the largest of these 3 Caribbean islands? A, Trinidad, B, Cuba, C, Jamaica. 11 was, in Shakespeare's Henry V, the Welsh soldier Llewellyn compels the English soldier Pistol to eat what vegetable? What awful vegetable? 12, whose cat was neither conclusively dead nor alive? Science. 13, which of these is not a job title? A, vlogger, B, influencer, C, twitterer, D, blogger. 14, in what language does arigato mean thank you? 15, which British public figure recently called for tougher measures against counter-terrorists? And now we go to the answers. The Asian capital that shares its name with a fictional detective is Colombo. The Bombay duck is a fish. 3, the best-selling novel Ordinary People was written by Diana Evans. That was a trap. That was naughty. If you put Sally Rooney, many commiserations, her book was called Normal People. The singer in trouble for having his birthday or her birthday party up the road from the RPT was Rita Ora. In popular culture, a DM is, of course, a direct message, though I think you need to be on Twitter to know that, but anyway, we all are, aren't we? 6, by what surname were authors Ellis, Currer and Acton Bell better known? They were better known as Bronte, that is Charlotte, Emily and Anne Bronte. The clue there was in the initials. They submitted their novels under male names because they thought that would help get them published in the male-dominated world of 1850s publishing. Who was the lead singer of Spinal Tap? David St. Hubbins. When asked who St. Hubbins was the patron saint of, the answer was Quality Footwear. The main character in the chess series, The Queen's Gambit, was played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Much better performance than the one in Emma, in my humble opinion. Good fun, that program. 9, the English word that means to fake or to make strong is forge. You forge something in iron, you forge a friendship, but you also forge papers and passports. The largest Caribbean island of those 3 is obviously Cuba, bigger than Trinidad and bigger than the little Jamaica that sits beneath it. In Shakespeare's play, Llewellyn makes Pistol eat a leek because it's the emblem of his country. The cat that was neither conclusively dead nor alive belonged to Schrödinger, a physicist who was talking about, as I remember, the rate of radioactive decay. Forget how his cat got caught up in a box, but it did. The one that's not a job title is obviously a twitterer, not a vlogger. An influencer and a blogger can all be jobs, but a twitterer is not. 14, in what language does arigato mean thank you? Japanese. 15, which British public figure recently called for tougher measures against counter-terrorists? I'm sorry to say it was our Home Secretary, Priti Patel, not the brightest knife in the box. There we are. That is the end of that round. Now we are pushing up the target. We want to get to £10,000 this evening if we can, and we're on 7,600, which is a mighty good effort. And thank you very much to all of you who have contributed. But we need to push on a little bit. If you can bear to, that would be absolutely wonderful. So you've got 5 minutes to find your checkbook or get online. Thank you very much, and see you again in 5 minutes for the grand finale. Don't miss it. Welcome back. I hope you had a profitable 5 minutes, whether filling up your glass or making a transfer. I'm very happy to say that we did very well. We made nearly £1,000 thanks to my impassioned plea. Well, really, actually, thanks to your generosity in the last 5 minutes. But we're still a bit short, pushing up to give a little bit more. It would really be terrific. And obviously, if we don't make 10, I will hang my head in shame and never be able to show my head in W11 again. So for your sake, for mine, and but most of all, for the sake of this really terrific charity, please see if you can shed a few more pennies. Now, round 4, I had wanted to do a topical quiz. I used to be a journalist, and I thought we should have, it's the end of the year, we should have a what happened in 2020, and we should all be show how closely we've been following the news and our fabulous recollection of current affairs. But I had to confess to the RPT that I haven't been able to look at a newspaper in 2020 because I can't bear to read about either Brexit or COVID. So I just go straight to the crossword with a quick look at the sport if there is any. So I thought, well, there must be someone who knows what happened in 2020. There must be someone whose job it is to know, to be on top of all these things, current affairs. Then I thought, I wonder if I know the right person. So I gave him a call, and I'm very much hoping that he's about to join us now.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Witherow, the editor of The Times. Before I start, I'd just like to say I hope you had a very happy Christmas, as best one could in these circumstances. But I hope, despite everything, that you had a good day. Now, let me just explain the quiz. There are 10 questions related to events from the last year. Some of them are quite tricky, so I've given you a multiple choice of 3 answers, because when I tried it out without the multiple choice on a few people, they struggled, and they were good at this. So you've got 3 possible answers, which I'll give you after each question. So let's start. The first one: which 81-year-old from Warwickshire became the first man in the world to get the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccination? A, Charles Dickens, B, William Shakespeare, and C, Thomas Hardy. Question 2. Bayern Munich inflicted a record-breaking thrashing upon Barcelona in a Champions League quarter-final match. What was the score? A, 7-0, B, 9-1, and C, 8-2. Question 3. Which middle name did Boris Johnson give to his newborn son in honor of the 2 doctors who treated him while he was in hospital with coronavirus? A, Jonathan, B, Lawrence, and C, Nicholas. Question 4. Who became the first man dressed as a woman to appear on the front cover of Country Life magazine? A, Grayson Perry, B, RuPaul, and C, Eddie Izzard. Question 5. Which art-related institution defended its decision to advertise for a head of coffee on wages of almost £40,000 a year? A, the Royal Academy, B, the Tate, and C, the British Museum. Question 6. Shadow Culture Secretary Tracy Brabin was criticised for revealing which body part in the House of Commons? A, a knee, B, her navel, and C, a shoulder. Question 7. a politician named after which dictator was elected with 85% of the vote in a regional election in Namibia? A. Adolf Hitler, B. Idi Amin, and C. Joseph Stalin. Question 8. In January, a Church of England court ruled that the poetry of which person is inappropriate for a Christian cemetery and therefore could not be used for the gravestone of John Chadfield's late wife, Elaine? A. Lord Byron, B. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, and C. John Betjeman. Question 9. Donald Trump falsely claimed that no candidate had lost the presidency if they won both Florida and Ohio. Which Republican candidate previously did so? A. Richard Nixon, B. Bob Dole, and C. Gerald Ford. Finally, question 10. Joe Biden received the most votes ever cast for a candidate in a US presidential election. How many million votes did he receive? A. 77, B. 81, C. 85. And that's the final question. Good luck. Now for the answers. Question 1. It was, of course, William Shakespeare, who was the second person. A lady got the first vaccine, and he, by coincidence, happened to have the name William Shakespeare, which caused delight right across the globe. The second question was, what was the score when Bayern Munich beat Barcelona? And it was an astonishing 8-2. I think Barcelona's worst ever loss. In question 3, the answer is Nicholas. You may remember that Boris said all the doctors seem to be called Nick. And in fact, there were two. There was a Nick Hart and a Nick Price, who were the two main doctors who looked after him. He also thanked the two nurses, Jenny from New Zealand and Luis from Portugal, who gave massive publicity back home in their countries. Question 4, the answer, not a huge surprise, I guess, was Grayson Perry, not Eddie Izzard, which some may have thought. Question 5, the art institution that advertised for a head of coffee was the Tate Britain, which caused some controversy about that the head of coffee was going to get more than the curators of the museum. Question 6, the Shadow Culture Secretary, Tracy Brabin, it was her shoulder that she exposed and caused a fuss. And then question 7, the politician in Namibia was astonishingly called Adolf Hitler. Question 8, which poet did the Church of England deem inappropriate? It was Lord Byron, and they wanted to use a verse from "So We'll Go No More A-Roaming." And I think the church deemed that it was too secular, and that's why, but maybe because also Lord Byron had something of a reputation. Question 9, Donald Trump and the states of Florida and Ohio. The other Republican candidate who lost those was Richard Nixon, I beg your pardon, didn't lose them. I think he won them, but lost the election. That was Richard Nixon, who lost to John F. Kennedy in 1960, very narrowly. And then finally, the number of votes Joe Biden got, it was record numbers, 81 million. And I think that Trump got 74 million, so about 7 million votes less. And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you did well, and have a very happy new year.
Thank you, John, very much indeed. Thank you, Witherow, I should say, since you said thank you, folks. It's really kind of John to do that. He's not actually live there. That was recorded because, believe it or not, he's actually working at the moment, editing the paper. And it really is extremely kind of him to give up time in his very busy life for this. Now, I have two other little bits of information to give you. I think the answer to the lock and the saint, it should be Columbus, but we'll be very generous in marking. And if anyone has misspelt an answer and the platform has told them they've got it wrong because of the spelling, don't worry. We take a very generous view of misspellings, the RPT, and you'll still get a point. But most important of all, I need to tell you, I just have to say that at 8 o'clock precisely, we went through the 10,000 target. We've actually got, so what a great evening. And thank you so much, all of you, for your generosity. It means a great deal to a lot of people, a lot of young people who really need a helping hand. The bonus point for the best team name goes to the Musketeers, both dashing and also obviously rather current. So well done them. And I think that probably brings it to a close. We'd hope to finish at 8 and it's 7 minutes past. Forgive us for that if your dinner is a little bit late. But once again, please don't just sign off from the RPT at this point. Their work goes on all year round, and you can donate at any time. You know, in order to make it easier, just sign a standing order. It doesn't have to be a fortune. A modest amount would be good. And meanwhile, I wish you all a very, very happy new year. And from the bottom of my heart, but most important, from the bottom of the RPT's heart, and from the hearts of all those children and young people that they have helped, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And I wish you all a very happy new year.